Good afternoon. It is February 19th, 2021, and this is what we were looking at for today. This is what I saw. Um, Pretty much a downward trend day. I don't know if there's a greater trend for the whole day. Didn't really even think about that. Let's see if this looks like something. Um, does that midline do anything? Maybe a little bit. But yeah, it was a downward trend day. That makes the midline look a little more accurate. Um, and you could play it. You could go long at a couple points right here. That's pretty much it. We had this short-term upward channel. Um, uh, but let's take a look at the trades I took today on the mini. One trade I liked that I took, but the other trade I didn't like so much. So overnight, prices trended up. We get the break. We get what looks like two legs down, but more importantly, we have this congestive area. And so it's a with trend breakout, but then we get a counter trend breakout, and you get a perfect signal bar right here. That's where I went long. I really like that. It also kind of looks like a second entry with this being the first entry, but it's technically just the first entry. But I do like this entry, and I'm glad I took it. And yeah, and that's when prices started trending down, though. Later, we get this. We're in a downtrend. It has been confirmed, and I don't like this because it's clearly congestive, and it's not at the key entry point of the trend line. So I went short here, I think below this bar, thinking, oh, it's a second entry short. But this is clearly congestion. I really just got lucky. Looks like I might have scalped out to the tick. Maybe it went a tick further. But yeah, I just got lucky. So it's not, this trend line was clear. It was clear that, look, you get a first touch, second touch, and confirmation right here. So I should have been looking for a setup up here at this trend line, but I was eager. But luckily it worked out. So let's go back to the ES. So this is what we're looking at for today. And you could have played it by these short-term trend lines. So we have this move up that we saw, and we have move down, breaks into congestion. You get a couple lower highs here that I do like. And then you get this strong leg down. Break, get some congestion. So let's take a look at each individual trade. So yeah, this leg down early in the morning and shortly after the open, you don't get a good setup, unfortunately. First entry, second entry, but this isn't the high of the swing. Here, this doesn't make a new high, so you can't think of that. First entry, you can't think of that as like a failed second entry from this high. First entry, it's just a first entry. So no good setups. I mean, maybe you would go short beneath that, but you'd have to put your stop above this bar. Yeah, just no good setups. Over here even, it looks like a trap, but I mean, and I would consider taking this, but you have to put your stop above that. It does look like a trap though, kind of. Anyway, prices bounce. You get a higher low right here. You might go long here because this is clearly slowing down. This downward trend is slowing down. It is after a break, and what kind of looks now in hindsight like one leg down, two legs down. So this higher low, you might go long there. You might, especially after prices have been trending up all night. So why don't I mark that as aggressive? And it closes above the EMA, but it is aggressive. And maybe this is the better move, this higher low right here. Nice bullish signal bar. But anyway, it gets congestive up here, and I marked this lower high It's actually a failed second entry long as well. Room back to the EMA to scalp. I like these signal bars that are right at the top of the range. If you have a target of where it's going to go, well, at least to the EMA. So let's see, your entry would be 2175. So you only get 3 ticks back to the EMA. So maybe this is aggressive, but I just like it because we had this downward move. Then we had this upward move. Prices kind of look like they might be ranging. And this would be the level of support. So that's why I marked that. And prices do bounce near that level of support. And then we get this trend up. So here, I'm still thinking it might be a range because look, prices bounce here, come back down. But if you draw your trend line off these 2 lows, you get a second entry long here. But I forgot to talk about this. You get a second entry long off this trend line. But I did forget to talk about this. This is just the lower high. And I like this because I was playing the range. And this looks like a trap. So that's why I marked this lower high. It looks like we're still ranging. We do have this. And you know what? Especially if you draw this lower, this level of support off the lows, it does match with these highs. So maybe you'd be a little nervous about that. And that's what gave me confidence on this one. Even though it's a neutral signal bar, this is confirmation of the trend line, and it's a second entry long. But anyway, you get a trap off the lower end of the trend line. It also looks like a breakout pullback. I didn't notice that. It also looks like a second entry long, but it's technically a first entry. See, if I took that into consideration, that this is also like a breakout pullback, I might mark this as blue, not aggressive, but it isn't technically a second entry long, so I'm going to keep it as aggressive. The momentum dies down and prices start trending down. I mark this. This is I guess this is a trap. It's also going into this level of support, but it looks like we're losing momentum. It's also a failed second entry long. Let me put that in there. Failed second entry long. So that's why I marked it. And if you got that, you would have made at least like a 15-point move if you were riding it. So at this point, first entry, second entry short, or second entry, failed second entry. You get another failed second entry. I didn't spot this right here. If you want to take that as like a failure off that bar, though, maybe consider that. You know, you then get, okay, thank you. You then get, sorry, Amazon just delivered a package. You then get this looks like a second entry short. It's not, but I'm willing to take that. Look at how low risk that bar is too. I'm taking that. If I see it, it also looks like a trap. It's off the trend line. I'm taking that. Every single time I'm taking that. And then you just don't get a good setup after that. No failures, no good signal bars. Not in that trend. We get a break, one leg down, 2 legs down to a new high, and then prices just start getting congestive. Clearly, you would have this congestive area drawn by this time, so I do like this entry. It's only aggressive because we haven't had a break of this trend line yet. Otherwise, it would be a blue arrow. Okay, and then here, we get this move up. We get a break. 1 leg, 2 legs to a new high, and you get a nice bearish signal bar. That's why I marked this. That's why I like it. It also looks like an important price level. I really like this. I don't think this should actually be green. It is a first entry, I think. So let's say this is the new low. First entry, second entry, first entry. But it's just got so many factors stacking in your favor. It's an important price level. It looks like this actually might be a greater area of congestion. Okay, it's at an important price level. We just got some tests of this high, and there's plenty of room back to the EMA. After this leg up, it's 2 legs to a new high, so I like that. I like that very much. And let's actually see, because it might be a measured, 2 measured legs up as well. And yeah, that looks like 2 measured legs up. That's just another reason to go short there. So hold on. And we get this sharp leg down. This, let me delete this price, this congestion area. This, I marked this. This is a first entry, but it's like a breakout pullback short with a great signal bar. And you have all this momentum going down from the counter trend breakout. So that's how I'm thinking of it. It's aggressive though, and it is off the trend line though. That's another reason to take it. And here you get a break, a higher low back into congestion. And that's what I saw for today. I'm pretty satisfied with my analysis today. Sometimes I'm not satisfied with it, but I like this. I think this all looks like it makes sense. And I hope you guys had a good trading week. Have a great weekend.